What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. It's another edition of the Derby della Mole, and we have dominated this thing, so we literally call it a derby just for namesake, but Jesus, Torino has been awful and dreadful in these things, and we've got some stats behind it. We've got a lot to look at, a lot of fun stuff in the headlines, and holy smokes, we hit 10K, boys. Hit 10K on the AJC Army. Thank you as always for your continued support. We're going to have a lot of fun today, all right? And this match happens to fall on Saturday. I got a Saturday that I'm going to dish out, and I think the boys got one too. We're going to have some fun. Lou and Trim joining me. Lou, how you doing today, brother?
Good. Happy Derby Day, everyone. This is my favorite fixture. Love the Derby.
There you go. Your favorite fixture. Oh,
yeah, it is.
We might have a segment on that too. Favorite fixtures. I like it. Trim, how you doing, brother?
Doing well. Looking forward to this one. It's can't believe it's the last one before another international break. So it's it caught me off guard a bit, but it's good. Let's hope we can get the 3 points and go into the break feeling good. Come back stronger.
That break actually could be huge at this juncture for Spalletti, seeing as how we just made that change. So probably we'll talk about that as well. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun. We've got Alex Juve in here, Michael G, Buongiorno, Cugino Eddie, DR1S. We've got Gio in here as well. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Cologero, great to see you. TX Juventino, Shatterstar, thank you for the congratulations, and thank you guys for the continued support. All right, we're gonna keep pushing forward now. Without further ado, I mean, we've got some headlines to talk about. We had a fiery board meeting going down yesterday. It was anticipated that was going to be fiery, and oh my God, man, all over the place. You had Ferrero talking about making statements about, no, we're not ducking anything, and board members actually made some statements about them ducking them when they had things to talk about, and Ferrero's like, no, here we are, let's go, we're rocking, we're right in front of you. Well, you were right in front of them, and they made their voices heard. Kamoli catching strays in that board meeting. Holy smokes. Okay,
I thought that was you in the board meeting throwing strays at Kamoli.
Well, when they heard that one quote, a lot of people said, holy shit, Berto's in the meeting. And we'll get to that quote, but right away, Scanavino's out. So Kamoli takes his place. And then you've got Tether getting a seat in there. We'll talk about Tether as well. We'll talk about it as a whole. I'll get your guys' thoughts. And then you have the quote that apparently one board member said, what we need here is some guts. Okay, and we don't know who we are anymore. We've got people that are in charge that can't even speak the language. And then you have, we're going in circles, and he claims there are people in-house that have been part of history and are seemingly an inconvenience to all of you. Perhaps they are an inconvenience to you. But what we need here are some guts. And then apparently another board member called for Ferrero to leave his post and resign. And they wanted a new president. Yeah, it didn't happen. He got reconfirmed, okay? And he is still Juve's president. And we kind of end there. And there was even more that came out. Apparently some wanted to go after Agnelli for damages caused for the closing out and the case and everything. Man, I'd love to be a fly on the wall, okay? But that quote, everybody, that was not me. I did not jump in on that board meeting, but that has to be an AJC viewer and listener, okay? Guaranteed. Lou, your thoughts on everything we're getting out of this, on the backside of this meeting?
I mean, pure chaos, but there was something refreshing about the chaos. You know, having those board members, specifically the ones who, you know, called out the club, called out Ferrero. And that's what a lot of fans do, like Ferrero being a non-existent president, the club's silence in terms of turmoil. We talked about this privately about when Tudor gets sacked or bad losses, you don't hear from Kamoli, you don't hear from Elkin, you don't hear from Ferrero, Scanavino. It's the players who are just kind of left there alone to, you know, deal with these messes. And as chaotic as it was, I loved a lot of it. The most curious thing to me is Tether got voted against in like a couple times a couple things they proposed were shot down by the board, right? But then you have John Elkin, who's kind of like, hey, we're open to construction collaboration. I feel like that Tether Juventus story, not over yet, right? I mean, maybe it's gonna be tough to break through. You got to give it a little bit of time, but I think Tether's going to make some sort of noise with the club. I think that there's definitely, some, if it's not them, someone is going to come on to add that club, because that was kind of Elkin's one takeaway from the meeting was constructive collaboration. But holding some of these guys accountable, the way the club is run, this no Juventus identity is something we've all talked about, right? So all power to them. I love that part of it.
I think that's best case scenario how it ended up with Tether, to be honest, because the sketchy thing about Tether is the fact they've never had a legit audit, and they can't literally buy Juventus or own Juventus until they do that. So it's really, right now, we're at a point where now you've got some people that might have some ideas or new refreshing ideas that can help this team and potentially better the revenue and bring up the revenue, because we'll talk about this. The guys that are in that boardroom shitting on Agnelli should maybe take a look at, since he's left, what have you guys innovated? What have you guys created? What have you done to boost revenue? Because you really haven't done shit. And you want to talk about damages? Sure, it ended up kind of ugly for Agnelli there, but it still was his brainchild that helped you out of the jam financially. It wasn't how anybody would have liked it, but next gen, I could see it a mile away. And I told everybody when it started, don't get too comfortable with all these young faces, because it's capital when you're way behind the eight ball financially. So for any about calling him out, what have you guys done to boost revenue other than change ticket prices? Like nothing. Trim, what did you take out of this meeting? What do you think about it? Love to be a fly on the wall there, man, I tell you.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, like, Lou was spot on with everything he said. Like, I couldn't agree more. I think, like, if you just look at the way that the club's been the last 18 to 24 months, whenever these board meetings do come up, which I believe it's only the one time a year, it's usually around this time every year, it always tends to be fiery. There's always a lot of back and forth, but that's what we want to see. I mean, with specific to the board members that are calling out guys and wanting to show change, like that's what we need. We need more stability, and obviously there hasn't been in the last little while. So I had no issues with that. With the Agnelli stuff, that was a little crazy to me, because yeah, he's been so far removed from the team for so many years. It's like we're still going back at this guy. Like, keep it a little bit more relevant.
Damages now, yeah. It's like,
it just doesn't make sense, right?
And again, would tell you, like, where's your focus at? That this is one of the ideas that comes in a board meeting in 2025 when he was gone, a while ago. It's like, come on, guys, like, let's get it together. But I'm 100% in agreement with you guys. Like, one of the big takeaways is that there's people there, thank God, that care, that have the guts to actually have those discussions, to make those calls. Now, Camoli catching strays, and Gio saying he's right. You can't lead Juve and not speak Italian. Guys, do you think it's that big a deal? Or, like, should he be speaking Italian?
I think it's a big deal. My problem is, again, it's the silence, right? Like, your CEO, like, Camoli is kind of like, I mean, Ferrero's the president, but Camoli kind of has the say of everything. He's the guy who's pulling the strings on the project. When things go south, he should be the one who's in front of the microphone, right? And it's not just, face versing, it's understanding, Juventus's relationship to Italian football, what the brand means. Like, you have to know that. If you know the language, the country, like the way people feel and communicate, like, he needs to understand that. Now, he has only been here since June, so there's some time to learn. Maybe he will start, but like, it's just not a good look when you have all these like foreigners who are kind of deciding things and then just not speaking to the media, right? It's never a good look when that occurs.
Trim, what do you think? Is it a big deal?
Yeah, like, I mean, you want, especially for Juve, but just in general, like, you want your your leader at the helm to know the language. And again, give the guy time, let him learn. But I do think it is a big deal. You want someone that knows the language to communicate, and it just, I don't know. I know we're in 2025 now, soon to be 2026, and you figure, it doesn't really matter. It shouldn't matter as long as the guy's a sporting guy, knows what he's doing. But it does mean something to the fan base and the club. So I do think it's important. I wouldn't say it's a big deal, but it's important for the guy at the top to know.
I'm going to even come at it from a different angle, okay? Pause. I'm going to go at it at a different angle, okay? I'm going to go like this. What kind of precedent does this set? What kind of impression does it give newcomers that come into the club when the guy at the top, the guy that's now been in charge of everything, we talk about culture, you talk about just the fundamentals, the values of the club, etc. What kind of impression does that give newcomers in here if this guy doesn't learn the language? He's not taking the time to learn the language. What kind of impression is that going to give new players that come in when we're always on them like, hey, learn the language, like, let's go. Yeah. We like that. It shows a sign of commitment from a player's perspective that he's going out of his way to learn the language, to make things easier, that he cares. If this guy's at the top, to me, I would take it a bit as a slight, like, does he care that much? It isn't a necessity. But I mean, it's nice and would be huge for him to take that initiative and show that. That's just how I'm kind of looking at it, just myself. So for me, it kind of is a big deal. It kind of is a big
like
deal.
The people who run big clubs, successful clubs, right? For the most part, they're like forward-facing presidents, right? Or forward-facing owners, or whoever's leading it is like, very like Pepe Morata speaks to the media a lot. The owner of PSG, he speaks to the media a lot. Same with Perez at Real Madrid. Like, the best ones are forward-facing owners. And if you're people who run the project are forward-facing, if Comoli can't speak to the media when times are tough because he can't speak Italian, like, what are we doing here, right? It's just dumb.
Yeah, and I didn't like the silence. I didn't like the silence just because they were between coaches and whatnot. That was a cop-out. You give your fans some service. You come out, you face the music, you face the heat. That's another reason why these board members went at these guys and said, like, you guys are ducking. You're ducking media. You're ducking us. Like, stop ducking. Like, let's go. Have some balls. And that's why they were calling to these guys that are around the club that could potentially play a bigger role, that have been part of history. They have balls. They have guts. They won't shy away. There were some key things that were said that had to be said. I love it. I love it. But, hey, for now, the board is set. Tether has a spot. All I'm going to say about Tether, best of both worlds for Juve, because they can't come in, but at least now we have somebody there with new ideas, might help revenue, and they're willing to recapitalize the club. We did bring in another capital increase of 110 million euros, okay? But it's not clarified that I think it was still that original 15 that could go up to this amount, and I think Elkan's finally just making that amount. Remember what I said a long time ago, everybody? I said he keeps doing this bare minimum on the capital increase. Can we just wipe all the mistakes free and actually move forward? Maybe that's the case. Chiellini spoke too, saying that they're expecting next year to be at a break-even threshold, and then we move forward from there. Let's see. Meanwhile, Ferrero's still president, everybody, okay? So the Sleepy Panda Bear still at the helm. Kamoli.
I think I would miss him if he wasn't there anymore.
He's CEO.
It's a match day tradition trying to find him asleep in the stands.
But we are bringing in some other guys. Silverstone coming in from Newcastle. Okay, this guy's been a part of some big deals in the football world. So he's supposed to come in and help us commercially, big time. Remember the last guy that couldn't get a sponsor in a whole fucking year? Yeah, This'll help that kind of stuff, right? Then you got a chief communications officer coming. This is Vercellone coming in from Milan, was doing the same thing there, okay? Now coming here, and it's supposed to round out with Ottolini. You now have literally an entire group that has been around football. From Modesto, Comoli, who's held every position at a club, to Giorgio Chiellini, now to these guys, right down from Bercelloni, Silverstone, to Ottolini. That's exactly what you want. If we can't get it together with an entire group that has done nothing but been around this game, then we have to start praying, okay? And we need an exorcism at Gontinasa to legit go down, okay? But this is the right way forward, I personally feel. Like, these positions, if it doesn't work with these guys, you still have to have a group like that. You should never see what we saw with Giuntoli, where he was the lone man, with nobody around him but Elkan, Ferraro, and Scannavino, who don't even count. You know? Because they probably think that football has 4 quarters. So, that, for me, this is the right way forward. You agree, Trim?
Yeah, you definitely have to put the right people in place so it's not one guy taking on the burden of trying to figure out the financials, the sporting side. Like, this is the most secure I think I've felt with, even though I don't know very much about Silverstone and a couple of the other guys, like Ottolini, obviously, if and when they finally announce that deal, like, we know about him because it's the sporting side. That's what we tend to focus on more. But everything else on the business side, I won't pretend to know or pretend to think that I know everything about it, but just having those guys in place, their background, reading a little bit of the history of them, that's what you want because it shows stability. They come together as a team. Everybody's got their role in place and their job. They focus on that, and that's all that matters. So yeah, let's see it get into action here and see how it goes. But I definitely feel like it's the right idea.
Yeah. And Lou, what do you think about this group that's assembled? J-Vengers assembled, somebody put on our daily update video.
Somebody, huh? Yeah, so I agree with Trim. One of the things I like about Comoli is the way that they want to restructure our corporate setup, which is, it's not just 3-4 guys working on like 10 different things. It's specialized roles. It's very specific roles. Even if you look at like the director of sport role, which we'll find out more once Ottolini is hired, seems to be more of a scouting and supporting role rather than a guy completing deals, making them for X amount of money, which is kind of like how Premier League clubs run a little bit, which is interesting. It's just a little bit more modern. And then, Silverstone, like you said, Al, he has been a part of some really big deals. He's a direct replacement for Calvo. He kind of lets Chiellini float between the business side and the sporting side still. So I'm a big fan of how they've set this up. I just hope all these guys know what they're doing and they're able to work. I would add, I'm a massive fan of Ottolini. I've been kind of championing for the sporting director for a while. He did some good things in Genoa, and he knows the club. He worked here as a scout, so I think he's pretty good for that role.
Yeah, there's it seems to be a healthy split on Ottolini, just because of people not really having a lot of faith because of the fact he's coming over from Genoa. But again, with everything in the Juventus world, and I mean, you'll always find arguments on both sides. You'll also find data on both sides. You'll find guys that came to Juve from smaller clubs, smaller teams and whatnot that have done very, very well. And, I mean, when you're Juve, aren't you always pulling from smaller clubs? Come on. Hey, it is what it is. That's what you're doing. You're always pulling from smaller clubs. Come on, baby. We're the best damn club in Italy. Come on. And the biggest. So it is what it is. I'm okay with Ottolini. Now, and still, it's one man's show, everybody. It's Comoli. It's still his show. Mm-hmm. These guys will be doing their roles, but not to what we've seen before. Because until he sits down there next to Scanga and they go over the Excel spreadsheet together and make sure the data's in line, nothing happens. Nothing happens without Scangavino and Comoli there, okay? So, some good stuff coming. I think it's the right way to move forward with the group. Even if I'm a little bit skeptical about Comoli himself, organizing the group and not having one guy try to do a million things is the best way. Now, we get to the rumor mill. Let's have some fun. Locatelli Fratesi swap. My goodness. Okay, we are not really giving it much attention, but then yesterday comes back again, and it's like I think I'm free and clear, and they just pull me back in, and they just want to keep pulling back in. They just want to keep poking at the bear and poking at the bear, because yesterday the reports claimed that Spalletti has given the green light to make the move and go for the swap deal. Guys, are you buying it? Are you stocking up on this one or stocking down? Are you stocking up on it or passing? What are you doing? Trim, stock up or pass? Not buying it.
Pass. Heavy pass. Because at the end of the day, the coach or the manager can agree to the deal, but don't the players have to also agree to the swap? And Loca's not going to enter. I can't see it. I can't see it. So stock down, passing it, whatever you want to call it. No chance in hell. I don't see it.
Pulling out the Vincent K. McMahon. No chance in hell. I like it. I like it. Lou, what do you think about this rumor?
I think this rumor's a crock of shit, to be honest. I don't got anything more to say about it. The rumor was it started as a Locatelli Fratesi swap, and then Spalletti got hired, and then it was Spalletti approves a Locatelli Fratesi swap. I mean, we've been linked with Fratesi for 4 years now. It's like It's an annual tradition as we get closer to the winter mercado and then the summer mercado for Juventus to be linked to Fratesi and nothing to happen. What I would say is about this, first off, Spalletti has no say on the transfer market. He may be able to ask for a couple players in January, but he's not looking for the summer transfer market. He's on an 8-month contract. It's Comoli's show. Even if he asks, Comoli is still going to make the final decision. That's how that worked. That's what happened under Tudor. That's where we're going as a club, right? Comoli's the guy. Second of all,
goodness. I mean, if you're really looking,
it's not even a like for like swap.
I mean, that's the thing. People are. I see the comment Fratesi from much more impactful than Locatelli at a completely different position. Still midfielders, but they're not like for like. And Fratesi, what's his season even looking like so far? 7 total matches played, 1 started. Total minutes played 195 in Serie A so far. 0 goals, 0 assists. Super impactful. We should totally take the glue out of our midfield and send it to him for this dude. Let's go. No. Hell no. Okay? Now, we're going to take this rumor, though, and build off it because, again, I'm just not buying that Spalletti's making any calls right now. Spalletti's got one priority, and that's himself right now to get the best results. I don't think he's thinking about anything. I don't know. I think for me personally, I feel that they already let him know that in January, it's going to be slim pickings. This is pretty much going to be your group to go through the rest of the season. So I'm not looking at anything crazy going down. That takes us to the McKennie contract extension. Because this one, man, McKennie he's one of those guys that'll strike a nerve in a lot of people. And this is another one, contract extension. Why are we going backwards? Why are we looking backwards to players that failed? Vlahović, McKennie, because Vlahovic's renewal is in there too, and Spalletti apparently telling them to renew Weston McKennie. Are you buying this one? Are you stocking up on this one? Or pass, you're not buying that Spalletti's even making this call, Lou?
I don't think Spalletti's demanding them to renew him. He may have recommended that they renew him, but I don't think he's able to. I don't think he's the authority yet to be like, "Hey, I need this player. Sign him now." I don't think that's a possibility.
Yeah. And Trim, what do you think? Are you buying that Spalletti's making these calls or giving the green lights?
Not buying that he's making the calls, but the funny thing is I'm actually buying that this club might renew McKennie because, he just... How many years now? It's been at least 3 seasons.
3 years straight.
The last three off seasons that we've been saying, okay, I think it's time that we can let this guy go and find a suitable replacement. I think we can all agree that we can see the quality in what he brings to the club, that he's so versatile. But for what his output is or what he gives on the pitch, like we can find someone that does that, like gives the same effort and contributes in the same manner. But because he's so versatile, like every manager that he plays for just seems to love this guy and gravitate towards him. So, I mean, hey, credit to him. I've never personally been the biggest fan or the biggest hater of McKennie. I'm kind of just indifferent. Like I see that he can do a job, and so like it wouldn't affect me anyway, like personally, like I wouldn't be too upset. But at the same time, it's like I can see and make a case for, just let him go. He's run his course with Juve. He's played well. I've had nothing bad to say about him, but I think we can afford to let him go. But I think the club's actually going to try to renew him.
It's a tough spot because you got, like, I understand the shouts that, like, I've already had a guy this long. It's been through a period that hasn't been the best. Is a clean break the best way to go? But the flip side is, like, as a utility player, if he's paid as a utility player, it doesn't pose you a problem. It doesn't prevent you from getting better players, because everybody's saying, no, we need better quality players. Yeah, you do. Weston McKennie isn't preventing you from doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
A renewal on Weston McKennie doesn't stop you from getting better quality players. Weston McKennie, a utility player. And if you look at the midfielders in general, we don't really have much anyways. You got Locatelli, you got Thuram, you got Weston McKennie, who plays predominantly all over the place. Would you even consider... One midfielder just left to left center back because that's his last stop before hitting space on a rocket ship. That's Cope Miners. Then you have Miretti and Adzic. Adzic is probably going to see a loan next season. That's going to be just my guess. Miretti, we still have to see him implemented by Spalletti to see what's going to end up happening. But right now, McKennie, if you went to renew him, he doesn't prevent you from getting better players in if you sign him as a utility player. Otherwise, go find a utility player. Will you trust that utility player immediately? Like I trust McKennie to do a job? Like I had full faith. I called for him to play against a red-hot Dumfries going into that game against Inter Merda, and he did the job.
Yep.
And I had full faith he would do the job. Dumfries was a non-factor. By the way, we brought in João Mario. There's already rumors of him leaving in January. Like, are you going to trust the next utility guy to that level? I'm okay with giving Wes utility player money if he will accept it. That's just me. But of course, if he wants like close to the top for in terms of salary, I'm a pass because you're a utility player. That's where I'm at right now. I'm fine either way. Last summer, I said one of him or Weah should leave the club, and we should look to sell one of those guys. But I said I would keep McKennie because he's a utility. He's a better utility than Weah, in my opinion. So, Lou, if you have to make this call, would you re-sign him as a utility player?
I would. I think that players like McKennie are kind of hard to find. It's just the problem with Juventus is that we've just been poor, so people hone in on that type of player. But those are type of players that, like in a squad, a good squad of 20 players, are really useful in title runs. So I would keep McKennie. He can cover a lot of ground, and people will overreact. He's not as bad as people make him out to be.
No, you need utility players in your roster. You need utility players in your roster. Show me a good Juventus roster that didn't have a utility player. You can't find one.
Asamoah, Giaccherini, Badawin, they're all players that won multiple titles with us.
Quadrado, when he was here with us, was a
Quadrado.
utility all over the place. Like, guys, you have a ton of them. Pesotto, Birindelli, like Zambrotta. Guys, I'm not saying McKennie is like Zambrotta or anything, but I'm just saying you need utility. Zambrotta was like a world-class utility, man. Left back, right midfielder, left midfielder. I'm not putting him there, but Pepe's another one. Like, you need utility guys. Who's a utility player on this team right now outside of Wes?
I guess, well, the only other one you could say right now, because he's playing left back, is Coop. But he's not really technically he's not even technically a utility player because he's supposed to be playing in the midfield and right. But like other than that, it's hard to say. Maybe Yildiz, maybe.
I was gonna say Cambiasso is the only one.
Cambiasso would be the only other guy. And we're starting to find that doing a job is a little bit suspect there when you're looking at Cambiasso. So right side seems to be the side where we need to go. It's just interesting when you look at this West thing. I don't think it's make or break for us, everybody. I'm still standing firm on my take, and that is these guys that we're all focused on aren't the actual issue at Juve. The star players are not star players. Period. You need firepower. You need actual impact star players. Yildiz will get there. Have some patience. Now, Lucumi, speaking of Spalletti, he's also calling for Lucumi, the big Colombian center back. Are you in or out on that one? You want Lucumi?
I like Lucumi, but it's the Frattesi thing. This is now 3-4 transfers of Lucumi being linked to Juventus. All right.
Oh,
just and it's the same thing. It's Allegri wanted him in January, Motta wanted him in the summer, then Tudor wanted him in the summer, and now Spalletti. I mean, if you take all that away, yeah, he's a good player, but
and the Army wanted Yarimina. Huh.
That's a throwback.
Trim, Lucumi, you want him?
Yeah, I do. I like him a lot, actually. And I think the reason I like him more so is because he plays in Serie A already, but he's a cheaper option in the sense of for that position. I know everybody wants to splash the cash and get a big name CB, but like I'm almost of the belief that why not go for a guy that's already been playing in Serie A? You've been watching him, and he brings and offers a lot of qualities that a guy like Bremer has already. And if we're worried about Bremer's health long term, I would like Lucumi as a safety net or a backup option. He'd be a great piece to add. The question becomes dealing with Bologna. How is that going to be, right? I think personally, though, I think that's kind of now with all this Motta stuff behind us. I personally think like that'll change. Still dealing with any Serie A club is a pain in the ass, but I think that with the Motta stuff now in the back burner, I think we might be able to negotiate something, but it's always dicey. It's always dicey, especially dealing with that club.
It's tough for them. I wasted no time throwing out all the Saputo cheese in my house after what they did in terms of the Calafiore move. And I told my wife she ever brings Saputo cheese in this house again, that she might be out the door with it. No, I never would say that. Okay, she would kill me. All right. You don't mess with the ladies. Now, go ahead,
one
Trim.
thing, quick thing. Shout out to Mark. So he said, if Trim likes him, stay away. So I got to give it to Mark. So yeah, take a nice shot at me. Yeah, because I don't have the best track record.
Hey, to be fair here, Mark, okay, and everybody, when it comes to Jonathan David, none of us, even the guys that wanted him, the guys that are behind him, and you'll find a million people out there that wanted Jonathan David, and I'm still not worried about Jonathan David, but Frankie, who's around here the least, made the boldest claim about him because he was the guy that said Jonathan David is going to come in and Jonathan David is going to like thrive and be an instant impact and just go like gangbusters. So Frankie is the one that you guys need to pay attention to. And you can find him on Sportscast in the Dominican Republic. So have fun there. Okay. Now let's get to this matchup. Okay. Oh man, we're having fun. Derby della Mole. Guys, let's play a little game. Play a little game with Lou, with Trim, and the Army here, of course. Who am I? We're going to have a little fun segment here. Who am I? You got to guess the player. I'll give you some clues. Okay. And it's around the Derby because this player has a Derby della Mole game-winning goal. Clue 2. It was assisted by a legend. Clue 3. Finished my career in the USA. Who am I?
I got it. Pirlo.
Nope.
Oh, damn it. I was convinced. Okay. All right.
It's not Maresca. Nope.
Finished in the U.S. Pirlo played at New York FC.
It's not Pirlo.
Higuain.
Nope.
Ooh, that's another
Quagliarella?
good-
No. Giovinco? No. I have a game-winning goal. It was assisted by a legend. I finished my career in the States. I'll give you another clue. I represented both of these teams in my career.
Oh, oh my God.
Oh, I'm stumped too.
Oh no, I know who it is. What the fuck?
Ogbonna Khan, no.
Damn it.
I'll tell you what. Last clue. I'm not looked at very fondly by Juventini. His time at Juve was very underwhelming.
Ooh.
Where did
I came from the same club as one of your number 10s.
I'm stumped.
He took
It's
the
got to
same
be like it's got to be a South American player, but I just can't think of.
Immobile, Zaza. Amaury, Wing of Winter. It's Amaury.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
It's Amaury. He represented
Yeah.
both teams, came to us from Palermo,
Yeah.
just like Dybala did.
Yeah.
And he had a game-winning goal in a Derby della Mole assisted by Pavel Nedved. And he
that's
finished
right. Yeah.
he finished with the Cosmos, his career. 3 appearances with the Cosmos.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So there you go.
It's the I forgot he played in the U.S. was throwing me off.
And he did
Yeah, I was
play
gonna
for
say,
Torino for a bit too, so he repped both of our
Yeah.
teams. Yeah. Good job,
Yeah.
Wing of Winter, out of
Wow.
nowhere. And wasn't even sure, threw a question mark in there.
Good
Yeah,
shout.
he did play for Torino. Yeah, he did. So there you go. Good job. Now let's get to the game, everybody. Let's get to this one. So they may have just won 2 of their last 11 fixtures, but Juve are still tough to beat at home. Okay? On home turf, they have lost only 1 of their last 31 league matchups at Allianz Stadium, keeping 17 clean sheets in the process. That just doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel like that should be a stat right now. Is that just me? Like, it's weird.
Now pull up our away stats and you're like, oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. So, such has been the inferiority in recent years. Torino's last success away to Juventus. Guys, any guesses on how far back you have to go?
Oh, I'm gonna say 90s in and around
Thir-
then.
yeah,
I don't know
30
exactly
years.
when, but
Shaggy had a huge hit. Boombastic.
so were we talking like 98, 97 around then?
Man,
Yeah,
Montel
95.
Jordan, this is how we do it.
Oh
Gangster's Paradise by Coolio.
yeah. Yes.
1995.
Ooh.
I was born that year.
You were I was 11 years old. I was 11 the last time. We got to go back.
Christ, you're old.
Yeah,
I think
thank you.
I think I was playing with Power Rangers back in those days.
Man, wow.
That's awesome.
1990, Boombastic, man. What a tune. High and Dry by Radiohead. What a tune. 90s, baby, 90s. That's where you have to go to. That far, okay? 21 subsequent away derbies, they have lost 16. To still call this thing a derby is ridiculous, okay?
Wow.
Like, just an absolute domination. Turin is black and white. We need to keep it that way today. When you look at Torino, man, we really got to take advantage of this. 2 against Pisa, but 11 of a league high 16 goals conceded for Torino are in the first half. Okay? So they've just been struggling in the first half of matches. Their main threat really coming from Simeone. They have Shea Adams up there too, but Simeone with 4 goals, top goal scorer. We talked about Capocannoniere race in Serie A as a whole. That's actually good enough to put him up there, around like tied for 3rd, I think, in the league right now. Man, Torino, there's nothing really crazy about them. If you look at Baroni teams as a whole, it's about just hard work. They want to create overloads. They want to outnumber you and box you out, win the ball, and then go from there. That's what they're going to try and do. However, that's what also leaves them open. And they've been getting stung because teams have found the weakness, which is switching the side on Torino. And if you do so quickly, you'll be able to take advantage. This is what they're going to be projected to line up against us. So 3-5-2. And you're going to see, obviously, Spalletti in goal. Ismaili, remember that son of a bitch? Holy Christ, he might get the preliminary day, that bastard. He had a hell of a game against us with Empoli. Maripan and Coco, guys, we got to take advantage of that backline, okay? Like, we absolutely have to. Pedersen, Cesare in the middle there. Lani. Vlahović, the pickle dude. Munko there on the outside. Simeone and Shea Adams up top. So pretty standard from Torino. Again, 3-5-2 allows them to do what I talked about, which is box you up on a flank, force you to the middle of the pitch. They're just going to create... there's really not a lot of line-breaking passes you can make on this team. You have to switch field very quickly, and you're going to have to win some 1v1 battles. But that's the thing. Torino hasn't been winning those 1v1 battles, and they've been conceding, and a lot in the first half. So Juve's got to take advantage of that. If we look at Juve's lineup, this is what's projected from Igor, holy smokes, Luciano. Igor's coming back. I thought he was back. 3-4-2-1. There you go. We didn't make a coaching change. Di Gregorio, Kalulu, Gatti again in the heart there. Cope Miners, Cambiaso on the right. Locatelli, McKennie as your main 2 operating midfielders. Thuram did make the squad list. I think it's the right call not to start him. We'll talk about it. Kostic.
It's just a given.
Every time I just need a second to make sure this thing doesn't quit. Okay, I got to make sure this ticker doesn't quit. So Kostic is there. Conceição, Yildiz, Vlahović up top. Fellas, those are your lineups. What do you think about Juve's lineup? And give me some of your keys to success for Juve in this game. And maybe like a way too early... Well, no, we'll save that one for prediction. But give me your keys to victory and what you think of that lineup. Let's start with Trim.
So the lineup, I don't really have an issue with it per se. Call me biased, I know, but I would have liked to see David start just for the simple fact that, you know, he needs to be getting minutes. I don't think 5 minutes of an appearance in the last game against Sporting is enough to show. And if we want to actually try to get this guy going a bit, we got to get him playing. But hey, well, it is what it is. I can see Spalletti wants to try to end off the break with a bang here, so play the hot hand in Vlahović. So that's really the only, not issue, but that's only the real only change that I would make. Mac and Loca in the middle. I mean, you can make a case for maybe putting somebody else in there, but I'm okay with the lineup the way it is. For the keys to success, it's actually pretty funny because it plays right into what I said. So play fast and move the ball. Quick decision making. We saw that against the Sporting, and we saw how exciting of a match that was. And so I find our team is clicking and firing on all cylinders when they're moving the ball quick and they're just using their speed and their pace. So there's going to be that, and just flat out use your star power to your advantage. Like you said, they're going to be caught in a lot of 1v1 situations with Torino, and they've been struggling a bit. So, you know, go out there and boss them around. Show them why you guys are Juve and why you're the bigger club in Turin, right? So those are definitely for me the keys to success. And then from the Torino side of things, they're just gonna, they're gonna try to clog up the middle and really frustrate us and keep us to the outside. So that's where a guy like Yildiz, that's where a guy like Chico, they got to really be on their toes and try to convert in the final third. And whether it's getting their own shots off or finding Vlahović in the middle, they got to just expose that team for what they are. They're not that great. I don't have an issue with the back line because up top, Simeone and Che Adams are good players, but I really feel like if we can control the middle and, like I said, just play fast and make quick decisions, we shouldn't have a problem today.
Yeah. I'm looking at that lineup and I feel like I'd maybe do something a little bit different just to combat what Torino's going to do, but I'm curious to hear Lou's thoughts. Lou, what do you think about that lineup in this game?
I'm pretty fine with the lineup. I think the one thing about the lineup is Spalletti, the experienced managers come in, they kind of play a little safe. The formation is kind of a carryover from the last one. You're playing guys in more defined roles, whereas before Tudor was kind of playing guys all over the place, nothing really defined. So I think Spalletti is trying to keep that stability a little bit into the international break when he has some time to work with some of these guys. The key for me, like Trim said, you have to play fast. You can't be predictable. Juventus struggles in games like these because they're too predictable sometimes. They move the ball too slow. It's easy to take them out. But I think also we need to see that aggression we saw against Cremonese and Sporting, where they wouldn't let teams – Sporting and Cremonese could barely get out of their own half. And you're going to need to see that a lot more. And I'll have one more in there, which is the backline needs to hold a clean sheet today, because if they give up one, it's going to be tough to overcome that a little bit, because Torino's going to put 9-10 men into the box, and Peroni is kind of a pain in the butt. But to be honest, based on how Torino's looked this year, this should be 3 points. There's no real excuse not to get 3 points in this game.
And I do feel like the lineup that we have projected there, we're probably going to see maybe one change, 2 changes. Still very early for Spalletti. These guys don't have a true read on what he's going to do, and we still have guys dealing with some nagging issues. If I'm looking at this, I'd like to see 2 strikers set up. I'd like to see a 2-striker set. I think you still need to find these guys going. These guys aren't going to get going with, and especially Jonathan David's not going to get going on 5 minutes, guys. It ain't going to fucking happen. I don't care if you're David. I don't care if you're Openda or whatever. So you got to do a 2-striker set. It still gets Yildiz on the pitch. It keeps Chico for tired legs. Shagrova is clearly still, we're waiting for him. He's still dealing with pain and stuff. I'd like to see a 2-striker setup. It breaks up those teams that set up that 5 against at the back. It breaks them up a little bit better. It helps us create a little bit more space. Passing's going to be critical in this game because of what Torino likes to do, which is box up, clog, flanks. I would have Moretti starting in this game because passing out of the middle is going to be big. I know it's not as robust as coaches would like, but you know what? He's a fucking midfielder at the end of the day, whether he's advanced or not. Trust your players. You also have Kostic over there. If there's one thing we should be able to depend on with that guy, at least it's his legs and his lungs. That can help Moretti on that side as well. So for me, Moretti should be playing in this game because passing is going to be critical. When they box up, teams stretch Torino with that switch field. You got to have him in there because McKennie, he can do that. He does it at times, but he doesn't hit quite often on the switch fields.
The flip side with McKennie too, which I agree with everything you said about Moretti, is he's someone who he become a target man in the box as well. When you're trying to break that team down and trying to get crosses in the box, McKennie's really good in the air. I think that's part of the reason they restore them. I did want to touch on one point here with Spalletti and some of these new signings, because I do think we haven't seen the last of Openda. I actually liked some of the stuff I saw from Openda in the Cremonese game. I don't think we've seen the last of David. I definitely think we'll see McKennie or Moretti and Adic, kind of come into the fold more. The problem is the way.
Well, that's why I want to go 2 strikers, though.
Yeah, and I think we will see it. Yeah,
because I'd move McKennie. I'd move McKennie to the outside instead of Kostic too. Yeah. You could do that. But you have your worker kind of on the outside protecting Miretti, but you have two strikers up top that'll break up that, so it's not so easy to clamp down. Yeah. But you're right. I mean, if you want a midfielder coming in there to get involved in aerials and stuff, then I guess McKennie's your guy. But if you can't get there or struggle to get there because of passing letting you down, then it's a little bit of a call there, right?
Well,
it's interesting.
It's the hard part with this team right now, because we sacked our coach a week ago. You have this new guy who's in there trying to like blueprint everything. So you're trying to like, hey, like pick up the points because like Spalletti said, like the title is not out of reach, but you're also trying to like figure out these new guys who flopped under Tudor. And Miretti, to be fair, like he's not a new guy, but he kind of is a new guy. Like I just didn't really play next year. He's technically kind of like a new player, right? Because we didn't really use them at all last year. So now you're just like trying to pigeonhole these guys. I really do think that two-striker formation, once we get through the international break, a lot of these guys are staying over the break. A lot of them didn't get called to the national teams. I think we're going to start seeing them get more integrated into like a set system, something that's a little different from the 3-4-2-1, something maybe more Spalletti-like.
The other thing to integrate Miretti too is the fact that you do have Cope Miners at left center back.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly. You can divvy up the guys at the back to make two center backs. If you shift Gatti and Kalulu over as we move up the pitch, Cope Miners can fill up in the middle to also offer protection for Miretti to get forward, right? Yeah. And then if you had an outside player, they can also get involved higher up the pitch in aerials, and you'll have coverage because Cope Miners can swing out, Kalulu, etc. can come in. You still have Cambiasso on the other side. It can almost turn into a back four to offer more bodies and presence further up the pitch, right? So there's a lot of different ways. I just don't think and I get it, this is probably right now the right calls on that lineup, but I still think we'll see a couple things. But I still like this team in a two-striker set. I think it does more for them. Because if Vlahović gets isolated today, then we got a problem. Yeah. And you got to pull these other guys in. So for me, you should probably work towards a two-striker set. And whether or not Spalletti's going to do something after the break, we'll talk about that when we get to Storm the Barn. But right now, Baroni versus Juventus. 0 wins, 2 draws, 5 L's. Against Spalletti, 0 wins, 1 draw, 3 L's. Spalletti versus Torino, 14 wins, 5 draws, 6 losses. Versus Baroni, obviously, you saw 3 wins and 1 draw. The form coming into this game, Juve, last 5, 2 losses, 2 wins, a draw. Torino, 3 draws, 2 wins coming in. So we talked about them conceding a lot in the half, but they are on the up. Had a little bit of a rocky start. Injuries, Pedersen has already resumed training after recovering from a fever. Abuklal is still struggling with a muscular injury for Torino. Their first choice goalkeeper, Israel, remains a doubt, and you saw in ours that it didn't look like he was going to be in there. So Alberto Paleri is going to be in there. All right. Does Berto get the day? Just simply because of the name? He might have to. We'll talk about it here, okay? For you. But here we go. Keys to victory for me, for Juve, it's easy. Stretch the pitch. Use the width. Switch them up quick. Let them box up. Get them to overcommit. And then move that damn ball quickly and take advantage. Cambiasso's on the right side. He's kind of going to be a big-time key player for me and one to watch for Juve. Because if we do things right, we should be able to free him up. Another player to watch because ball movement and everything's going to be critical. Cope Miners. I'm actually going to say he's one to watch in this game for ball movement and everything. So I'm going to go with him as the players to watch for Juve. Cambiasso, Cope Miners. Lou, players to watch in this one for you.
I mean, I think most important players that for me, it's going to be Cope Miners is one. He's been a big part of those first couple games. I think, I hate to say this, Al, your boy Kostić, Cambiasso are important figures today. They just are. They're important in the setup. And I think also Vlahović too. These past couple games, say what you want about Vlahović, you like him or not, he set the tone for Juventus with his aggression, his pressing, his kind of leadership. I think he's probably the most important player outside of Yildiz in this team. Those couple guys are the big ones for me.
There you go. Trim, players to watch in this one for you.
So I'm going to go Yildiz for creation, especially against this Torino team who's going to try to clog it up. So we're going to need a lot of help in the final third to finally capitalize and get some chances through. I'm going to also go with Dusan to lose point because he tends to fall off after having some strong showings, and consistency is a big thing with him, a big issue with him. It tends to be. So against a team like Torino, we just expect him to go in there and dominate. But at the same time, like you mentioned, if we struggle to get the ball up front to him, he's going to be kind of off on an island. That's not good for us because we need him to get going and to continue the success that he's shown in the last few matches. So I'm going to definitely be keeping an eye on both of those guys. And in the middle, I'm going to say Locatelli as well. I think he needs to have a strong showing, continue to show his strong form, and just keep doing more of the same. Steady Eddie.
Steady Eddie. Now, we're going to get to the last feature out of this match, the detail, the official. Luca Zufferli. My God. 31 appearances in Serie B. 30 in Serie A. In Serie B, I swear to God, it's a prison league. He's got a 5.3 yellow per game average, 9 reds, 12 PKs in those 31 matches. In Serie A, 3.1 yellows per game. This looks like it's going to be a play-it-out derby, if that's the case for this guy, all right? So 3.1 yellows per game in Serie A, 3 reds, 8 PKs in those 30 matches. When you look at Luca Zufferli, the last time he did a Juventus match was April 12th, 2025. That was the 2-1 victory over Lecce. And that was the match I believe Kenan Yildiz bagged. Yeah, he did. So Yildiz and actually Cope Miners scored in the second minute of that game. That was the last time we saw this official, Luca Zufferli. So now, with that said, everybody in the chat, you boys, prediction time, okay? Prediction time. Give me your final score and give me one tiebreaker. Then we're going to do something fun with goal scorers. So, Lou, what's your final score prediction in this game? And give me one tiebreaker.
2-0.
2-0 Juve. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And, tiebreaker. I think we're going to get a Vlahović goal. Maybe break the deadlock. I don't know who the other one is. Maybe Gatti. I think we're going to get Vlahović and Gatti. That's my prediction.
Our 2 strikers. There you go. Trimmy, final score, one tiebreaker.
So I actually have the same final score, so I'm going to go 2-0 Juve. My tiebreaker, Torino red. Someone's getting a red.
Nice. Let's see what we got in here. A 4-0 slaughter.
Love it.
2-2. Go have an espresso. Cheer up. It's going to be okay. All right. We're not going 2-2. 2-0 Juve. Susan. George Costanza's wife's back. 2-1. Dusan and Yildiz. Mitch going 1-1 draw. Mitch, man. What? Huh?
He hasn't had his coffee yet. He's going to have his coffee.
Come on, Mitch. Let's go. Go ahead.
Mitch is grumpy this morning.
2-0. 2-0. 3-1 Juve. Dusan brace. One's a PK. And Wes. 2-0 Yildiz. Kalulu off a header. All right. 2-0 or 3-1 Juve. Tonio going 2-0. Do we have faith? You boys have faith in calling the clean sheet. Am I there yet? 3-1 victory for Juve. I'm going 3-1 win. Okay, one of my tiebreakers will be that Juve will find one off a set piece today. Might even see a free kick goal.
That's like a unicorn these days.
I know. It's a bold call. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say we get one off a set piece, maybe a free kick. 3-1 victory. Now we do the fun stuff, everybody. By the way, get the likes up, okay? And just a reminder, everybody, we got giveaways to our members. You got to sign up on memberships. Got to be on a desktop to do it unless you own an iPhone. But this is the Legend Status Members Kit giveaway this month. Okay? Going old school. Got the boy Pirlo on the back. For our non-members, we still love you. Okay? This is the November one. Home. Got your boy Kenan Yildiz on the back. All right? So we still love you. We still take care of you. All right? So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, get those likes up. Now, here's the fun part. Who breaks the deadlock? And by the way, for everybody taking part in the Army chat, screenshot your response and everything, because if you nail it, I got a prize for you on tomorrow's post-match show, okay? So what we need now is who is going to be the first goal scorer? What minute and how is he going to score it? Trim, you do the honors here.
Okay, so I actually have Chico getting the first one in our 2-0 victory that I predicted. It's going to be a left foot shot from the right side, inverted, just outside the box. He's going to curl one in. Beautiful shot. And that's my prediction for the first goal.
Left-footed shot, curled. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Lou, you're up. What minute? Sorry, Trim. What minute?
27th minute.
27th. Okay. Lou?
Yep.
I think that Vlahović is going to score the first goal in
Okay.
the 35th minute from a corner, assisted by Filip Kostic.
Is he heading it?
Yeah, he's heading in.
Okay. And you added the Kostic assist. That's balls.
He has to add that little wrinkle.
I mean, that's how
you're only doing that because of this. They don't call him Sweet Lucifer for nothing, man. He's trying to take me out.
That's how he scored against Genoa.
Testing the ticker, for God's sakes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with the first goal scorer to be Kenan Yildiz. And this is going to be a short side shot from the top of the 18. And so right-footed, short side. And I'm going to say that happens in the 17th minute. 17th minute.
Nice.
Let's go, everybody. Let's go. All right. Now, good luck, everybody. Now, the match is out of the way. Let's have a little fun. It is Saturday, after all. And I have one that I'm going to bring up because I got to deal with this, okay? It's an absolute joke, okay? But these mutts, these chihuahuas got to be put in their place. Manuel Neuer receives a Man of the Match award against PSG, 39 years old, still delivering on the main stage. We beat the Buffon longevity gimmick.
Oh, jeez.
Did Filip Kostic make this tweet? Is that his account? Okay, listen. 39-year-old gets a Man of the Match award in a Champions League matchup, and this is beating the longevity gimmick. Okay, let's see where Neuer ends at the end of this season, because at 39 years old, the one that you speak of, Royal Kimmich, you absolute mutt, at 39 years old, Gigi Buffon was named the best FIFA goalkeeper. He was Serie A's best player. He was best goalkeeper as well for the league. And he was the best goalkeeper in the Champions League. He won all of those at the age of 39. And you're still 3 years away from when he held a clean sheet at Camp Nou against Barcelona at the age of 42, for God's sakes, winning a Champions League Man of the Match award. He might not have got Man of the Match in that game, but we all know he should have. So, disrespectfully, Royal Kimmich, there's only one GOAT in the business, in the game. It is Gigi Buffon. So put that in your pipe and smoke it there, pal. You didn't beat shit. And Neuer certainly didn't beat shit. That's my Saturday, everybody. There you go. Fellas got one?
Yeah, I mean, I just need to say this because on behalf of the AJC team who has to deal with the knee guy and his, everyone likes Tether and he has to be the guy who objects and goes, are they really useful? Just, just Tay for being annoying. That's it. They give you that, Tony. Have a little bit of that.
Oh, man. Trim, you got one?
I do, yeah. It's a little bit on the fly, and it might be a little bit harsh, a little bit of friendly fire, but Ted Ferrero being reappointed or reconfirmed as president, why? Why is he even still here? Like, nothing's really changed. He hasn't really offered much, to be honest. Like, I'm really surprised that the board members confirmed him, or whoever it was that made the final say to confirm him. Like, I mean, at this point, I think it would have been just the easiest way to make a clean break-off, clean cut. Now, to be fair, do they not have someone else lined up to replace him? If that's the case, okay, fine. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like that position could be vacant for a bit until you find someone. So for me, respectfully, but not respectfully, to Ferrero, and still being around. He's going to be sleeping today at the match, so we'll get our over-under 1-2 shots of him sleeping at the match. And, yeah, I don't know. Not a big fan of it.
There you go. There you go. I mean, God, talk about setting the bar a little bit low. Like, you could just fall asleep at games and keep your gig, and you're the president.
Yeah.
Wild. Mitch is at the stadium. Enjoy yourself. We also have Davide Caruso, our friend from Australia, that actually made the trip, and he took in the Champions League match against Sporting, and now they're going to enjoy this Derby della Mole. So enjoy. And now, shall we get to some Storm the Barn? I do have some that have come up naturally through game, but let's get into some Storm the Barn, fellas. See what we got here. Can we do a breakdown of the important things from... Yeah, we did. Ori, we did. Sometimes you guys just got to give me a little bit of credit. I know it's early here. It's like 5:45 a.m. when we start, but come on. I'm not going to skip out on that. The main thing is the board is named. It's got 9 names in there. Tether's got a seat now, which wasn't expected. And it seems like Elkin might have turned a corner in claiming that, hey, we're not selling our shares, but we are open to some collaborations. There you go. Big one. Ferrero still president. And that's why, boom, Trim gave him the day. So, hey, happy Saturday to our president. Yep, bastard. Get things going. Can we get Kamoli merch? Oh, my God. Instead of Lippy with the cigar, we'll have Kamoli with a cannoli in his mouth, okay?
Yeah. Or Kamoli with googly eyes.
We gotta, Kamoli merch? You guys want Kamoli merch for real?
Well, you can make 2 versions. You can make the cannelloni version for when he absolutely shits the bed, and then you can make the cannoli version when he's done something right. So we can get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, how are we gonna do this? Kamoli merch, my God. What do you call it when Cuadrado and Cabal go into a 50-50 against each other? One-on-one. Oh my God, that's actually good, Adam. Adam, my God, he did it. Holy shit, he did it.
There you go.
That's actually good. Okay. November 8th, 6:56 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Adam hit on a joke.
Yeah,
well done.
Attaboy.
Well done.
But he got it.
Attaboy. One-on-one. I like it. Okay. Do you think Spalletti is slowly easing into a 4-3-3? Will we see the back three for the whole season? This is a great question because it's literally something I had that we were going to touch on after we get to this match. Going into the break, get the job done, come out with the best that you have at the moment that's most familiar to these guys, and then take that break opportunity to mold into something that you might be a little more comfortable with. Do you expect that, or do you think he's going to stick with this one the whole way through? What do you think, boys? Trim, what do you think?
I think he set this up purposely to like not change things for the first few matches he came in. He probably saw that there's international break right after this match, so I think he didn't want to tinker too much. And maybe behind the scenes, because we're not really privy to what they're doing in training, but maybe behind the scenes in training, they're taking 10, 15 minutes out of a training session to try a different formation. But I do think ultimately, like, let me put it this way. I'd be stunned if we came back from international break and he goes with the same formation of a 3-4-2-1. Like, I think he's going to change it up right after the international break. It gives him a week to kind of get it in place and go through some training sessions, especially because if you notice, not many of our guys got called up for international duty. There's a few guys in particular like Thuram that are actually not getting called up. McKennie didn't get called up by the U.S. So maybe he'll feel like that also gives added, structure to be able to implement it more time. So like I said, I personally would be really surprised if we end up coming out of the break and it's still the same 3-4-2-1. But a back four for me, I think is needed. I know we've been calling for it, the three of us and a lot of the panel members on this show since the summer, based on our roster. So any form or any formation with a back four, I think is what we need.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think when you start looking at who's doing well in the setup, like I'm having doubts. Like I always felt like we'd hit the break and we see it, but I'm starting to have doubts. Lou, do you think he's going to change it?
I don't think he's going to change the back three part of it. I think in terms of, maybe two strikers, I think we're going to see more variation to the current formation. We're going to see different style. I think you made a good point just based on who's doing well. I'm also thinking about like a flat back four. Kalulu's kind of a right back, but you don't really like Cambiaso's your only pure fullback in that system. You have kind of like bandages with McKennie or Coop Miners at left back that could do that. So I don't know necessarily that he'll go to a 4-3-3. We'll see how Zagrova recovers, but I think we're probably going to see a similar formation that's more variant. So we'll see more two strikers, or maybe we see like a 3-man midfield and two strikers, or someone playing the whole just a 3-4-3. We're going to see variation. So I think Spalletti, he's going to want to put his imprint on this team because he knows he has an 8-month contract. He needs to get them to compete, to play well, and he wants that long-term contract. So I think we're going to see some variation, but I don't think we're going to see a drastic change right away.
Yeah, and you look at this team and all of a sudden something that was my concern, which was a big component of why I wanted to see them get into like a back four, is the fact that we were skinny at the back, but now all of a sudden you've got Cope Miners playing back there. Now all of a sudden you've got Kelly not in there, Rugani not in there. It offers you a little bit of a break in terms of rotation. So all of a sudden, you're not as skinny since he's been able to fill that position. So it might be something that keeps it going. I'm not entirely sure how Spalletti's going to see it or what he's going to end up doing. But he might be sticking with it. So it's an interesting scenario. But when you have Cambiaso, if he's doing well on the right side, I still think you have a shortage on the left outside position because, I'm not so sure Kostic is it. Today will be, another match. The Cremonese one, I didn't put a whole bunch of investment in Kostic stocks. But I said he was also projected to start against Sporting. And I said, well, if he puts in a good showing here, my sense of confidence in him could be picked up a bit. Spalletti didn't go to him. Now going to him in a Derby della Mole, but again, it's a derby that's been dominated by us at home. I don't know how much stock I'm going to put into the whole trust thing on him. So I still think left outside could be one of these things where it's a little iffy. I don't know what the hell's going on with Joao Mario. Like, he just can't get playing time. It's wild to me. There are rumors he might be leaving in January or maybe looking to leave. I mean, I would buy it if he was brought in under different circumstances and believe that he could be at least getting opportunities. At the same time, I really don't get it. That position in a 3-man back set, that's the whole purpose of having someone a little more offensive minded, is because you have the protection, you have the coverage. The fact that we just are unwilling to like really give him minutes whatsoever is wild to me. I don't know if it's something that changes after the break, but Cambiaso's doing better on the right, in my opinion. So the solution is, who the hell can sort it out on the left? And João Mario looks like a substitute at this moment. But there's a lot of question marks like just everywhere on this team, right? Where you're still trying to figure things out. Are we locked in that this is the best way to set this team up? Maybe it's a variation like Lou said. I don't think it's far off, but there's a couple variables there. Cope Miners, can he keep it going? Is that going to be the new spot?
Is that our
new
ball?
Think about, why did we make this change, right? You bring in an experienced manager for kind of a younger team, right? And he's supposed to just solidify things and make things simple. So I think for a little bit we're going to see that. But you're right. Maybe things change. Cope Miners maybe isn't as effective in the back three. I mean, you have Bremer coming back still. Rugani, I still think is a part to play in this team. We don't really know. Zagrova, like there's little outliers that may change this, but for right now, I think we're just staying on this path, right, with some variations.
Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see, but we have a lot of time there. We'll go through this break, and it'll be interesting. And there's some players like Kalulu sticking around, Thuram sticking around. A lot of guys are still going to be around, even for the Azzurri. It's Locatelli and Cambiaso. But you have a lot of guys still around. So if Spalletti is going to make that change, I think we'll see it pretty quick after the break. But this month of November is a big one for Juve. This is our opportunity to rack up points and make a statement that we're not going away. And you have to get 3 points today.
Also, can I say how refreshing is it to hear a coach be like, well, we should be competing for the title again?
Oh,
like, whether you like the guy or not, just like it has it been 5 years since someone said that? Like
at 4 points out from the top in the month of October still at the time when it was.
Yeah.
Fuck, saying anything else would have been asinine. Like, you get a new guy coming in, an experienced guy, if he comes in and he's like, yeah, no, we just got to make top 4. What the fuck, man? Like, have some ambition.
It's right there for it, yeah.
And you hear the players now saying it too, which is like different, right? Like it's like standard's been set again, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When can we expect a Cope Miners special card in Ultimate Team? Oh my God, man. He got an awesome Foundations card at the start of the game, but I didn't pick him in the midfield because I'm very, very particular about my midfielders in that game. Maybe center back card coming up. Israeli being a next-gen product, do we see him accidentally concede a few howlers? Holy fuck. I wish. Everybody turns into, against Juve, everyone's prime Buffon, man. Prime. When do you think Bremer will be back? Wasn't it December when he's come back to training? Or late November?
It's like late November, early December.
Back to training.
I'm kind of thinking we won't see him till either the end of the new year or the new year.
Yeah, I feel like you won't see him till January, like back in actual action. You'll see him training late this month, early December, but yeah, and that makes me nervous, that meniscus thing with him. So fingers crossed. I think for now Rugani should start. He's composed and better than Gatti there, but when Bremer is back, if we play with a back four, should be Bremer and Gatti because he does good in a partnership like that. That was the best we've seen out of Gatti last year, was next to Bremer. So Rugani, should Rugani be in the heart right now? So Cope Miners left, Rugani, and then Kalulu. What do you think, fellas? I'm not against it.
I think Rugani naturally fits that role a little bit better. But he's just more, like he mentioned, like more composed, just more organized. But to be fair to Gatti, he put in a really good performance against Sporting. He fought tooth and nail with the strikers from Sporting. Like he was very solid in that match. He lacks a little discipline when it comes to some of those those top strikers like Jamie Vardy in the Cremonese game, right? Took complete advantage of him.
I just have doubts whenever Kalulu and Gatti are together. Like it just I don't know, man. It just screams lack of confidence to me. Like me personally, I see the two out there, and they're both good for brain farts. Together, it sketches me out. But he did put in a good shift against Sporting. It was a much more like stay at home type performance. He didn't try to do all the extra stupid little shit that he does when he gets caught, makes a stupid pass, like etc. It was just keep it simple, stupid. Literally, keep it simple, stupid, and it worked out better. So, I think if he does that, it's okay. But Rugani, I think we should be getting him in because there are going to be moments, and if another injury happens, you're still a ways out from seeing Bremer back. You don't want this guy completely cold. So
yeah, today would have been the match to start him, because the other thing with starting Rugani in that spot is you have Gatti as an option for Kalulu, who's played every minute of every match.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to get, even though it's international break, you want to get Kalulu some rest. Like, why not Gatti on the right side? Like he's played there
is
before.
A freak show, man.
Yeah, he's
I think
impressive.
If you think about Gatti and Kalulu, like Spalletti plays so aggressive. They fit his kind of like that aggression that he wants in a team. I'm a little worried about Rugani in that sense, where it's like he may get lost in that because like you're looking to high press and be aggressive, and that's never really been his sort of MO. Great player, like, but just they kind of fit with.
Yeah, I think
we lost him.
I kind of lost you there at the end, Lou. That's
my AirPod just died. That's all.
Oh, okay. How does Raspadori get called up over Fede? Swarit, I was actually thinking about you because you got to have that fourth goalkeeper called into the national side. That's why Fede can't be called in there. You got to have that fourth goalkeeper. I was thinking about you, Swarit, when Chiesa didn't get the call up.
Can we be honest about Chiesa here? Does he really deserve a call up?
Player of the month.
For what? For his little juggle incident against Real Madrid that everyone's talking about? That's damn it.
He's been in good form though. There are guys on there I would definitely call him over. Like I'd call him up. I'd call him up. If you're the Azzurri. The funny thing is, Raspadori's starting to lose that though, because Keane and Retegui have been actually bagging goals. But for a while there, for like the last, I don't know how many years, Raspadori's actually the leading national team scorer over the past, 6 or 7 years. That tells you everything about how the Azzurri are doing also, by the way. Yeah. So it's like,
no kidding.
Kind of says it all. But nonetheless, no love for Fede Chiesa. How the hell are Pafos above us? And they actually beat, 1-0. I didn't see any of that, but that's crazy. That's crazy.
Pafos, that was something I read about in the news this week, is like they're not easy to beat. Like that's not a guaranteed win for anyone.
Man, Benfica is doing awful this season with
They'll still beat us, Bert. It's history.
Well, it's like you got everything written for you. Don't fuck up, Juve. Don't fuck up. Let's not be everybody's bounce back, okay? Jesus.
Yeah, straight up.
God damn. Destiny Elimogale. Remember the name, man. A beautiful goal already in the U17 World Cup, Qatar. There, something special there. I told everybody on a daily update video, you get a chance, watch those games and look out for him, man. Legit player potentially there.
In the barn. I got called out in the comments here about Chiesa. Pull up that Fede did more in 7 minutes than against Madrid than Mbappe and Vinny did. To put Chiesa in the sentence with Mbappe and Vinny Jr., you just can't do it.
I can't do it either. I'll be quite honest.
You can't ever say that in a sentence.
It's not 2021. He's on a redemption tour. I
Even
always said it like
you couldn't do that.
He's got to go back. He's got to go back. He's got to turn the clock. And right now, He's doing well. He's doing well. But god damn it. If you telling me you have an opportunity to get any 3 of those players and you pick Fede, I'm calling you crazy. If you could bring like Mbappe, Vinny, or Chiesa to Juve right now, if you pick Fede, that's all heart. Like that's pure heart and emotion from the time before, because there ain't no way I'm passing up on one of those other players. That's just where we're at. Now, we've got some fun. We're going to have a little fun here. Fix it again, Tony. Fiat. One thing that you could immediately fix at Juventus if you were in charge, what would that one thing be right now? Trim, this one's for you, buddy. Fix it again, Tony. You kick us off.
My namesake, the horrible nonno joke that was constantly made to me. Even my own nonno would say, you know why they call us Tony? And I'm like, why? And then he'd say that, and I'd be like, that's not that funny. No, it's not that good. But something that jumps off the page right away, like the first thing I think of, is the upper management. If I could fix anything right now, because it stems from the top down, we've seen how quote-unquote shambolic it's been. You could make a case for it being shambolic the last 5-6 seasons. I'd fix up top, because I really feel that it stems from there. Whether that's removing Elken or having him still own the team and him taking a step back and saying, okay, I need someone else as like the face of Juventus. If it's Andrea Agnelli, bring him back, put him in there. Just up top,
New president.
we need to solidify that. Once we solidify that, I feel like it's just going to trickle down. Whether it's the guys that are still currently in the board right now, like Camoli and all those guys, if they stay, that's fine. But just we need a figurehead up top. And I really feel like that's the most important thing for Juve right now, because it'll be a trickle-down effect to everything else.
Nice. What's your fix it again, Tony moment? One thing around Juve you could fix instantly. What would you choose, Lou?
Wow. I mean, I have a few that, I'm going to keep to myself here. But Trim kind of took mine with the president a bit. Maybe I'll focus on the first team. What would I fix? I think I would probably, for the love of God, buy a creative midfielder. I mean, that's something we've needed since 2017. Just keep recycling through them, through utility guys. I think that would be what I would fix for the first team. I mean, but the upper management, Trim, you were spot on that. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. I'm going to say, let's change the badge. Let's change the badge right now.
Yeah, it's a good call, bro.
Change it and go old school, or change it altogether? Like no, completely
let's go a little old school. Let's make it back to the 04 to 2017 one that was kind of there. Great. Maybe put a new little touch on there and whatnot. Let's start getting the feels right again. Let's go that. Let's go that route. Let's change that.
Nice.
Swarit, man, I know you love Chiesa. Okay, I get it, man. Like, now what? You guys talked about Huijsen being the real deal. I'm going to stop you right there. You must not have been listening to me through all that time around Huijsen, because I was actually fine. I wasn't crying about Huijsen. And I also said he's a modern-day center back, which actually isn't the greatest at his first job, which is actually defending. Hey,
I didn't know that they gave goals and assists for juggle passes now.
I've been out on a limb calling it with Huijsen and saying he's just all flash with the passing and everything, and it just blinds people. He's like another, Bastoni, whatever. If you actually rely on these guys to defend, hey, he's a great center back when you're on the ball for 70% possession. That's all I'm going to say. But Chiesa's doing good. Swarid, enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. But today we have a derby, okay? It's Juve. I don't give a shit about Chiesa anymore. Bye-bye. 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 The Azzurri, though, I do agree with you, Swery. I would have called him. I mean, do you really need Caprile on the roster there as a fourth goalkeeper? Do you really need that, or would you just rather have Chiesa on that list and have him out there? I know what I would pick, but maybe they'll save him for the playoffs so that he's raring to go. And then when we face Sweden. Where's Adam Kahn there? When we face Sweden, because you know that's going to set up, and then we're going to have a little battle in the AJC Army chat with our Swedish friend there. You know that's going to happen. We'll go from there. But the Azzurri, man, hey, let's get through this Derby della Mole with the 3 points, okay? Guys, had a lot of fun. Got some new segments in here. Had a lot of good stuff. You guys, get the likes up. Let's go. Gio had to turn the screw there, eh? You just can't let it sit there. Has to throw it in there. Doesn't deserve it. Okay. Okay. Swarit, they're messing with you now, brother. They're messing with you. Okay? They're messing with you. Listen, let's take care of these punks, Torino. They concede a ton in the first half. Let's hit the ground running from the opening whistle. Yes, I'm bringing you a watch along. And you know what? The game starts in an hour and like 40 minutes. So, hey, we'll reconvene 20 minutes before kickoff. I'll see you all right back here. Lou, Trim, ton of fun today, boys. Ton of fun. Loved this preview show. You guys, thank you for the support. We have reached 10K. We keep pushing, all right? Keep sharing, keep liking, keep hyping up daily videos. Had somebody ask with all the shorts for the news videos too lately. Guys, it's just, there hasn't been a lot of news. So if we don't have to do long format, I probably won't, because for you guys, it's very convenient for the majority of our viewers to be able to watch a short reel and get all the news rather than a long form video. When we have a lot of news, yeah, I'll still go back to long form, no problem, to fill you in on absolutely everything. But it's gets kind of quiet during the season. All right? And sometimes, hey, we all got lives. Time doesn't permit. But don't worry. We still take care of you. Haven't taken a day off in I don't know how long. Okay? Lou's got a saying about Berto. About
the devil works harder, but Al works harder.
That's right. Devil works hard, Berto works harder.
Yeah.
Never a day off. You guys, thank you for your continued support. Today, let's beat the piss out of those punks and show them that Turin is black and white. Ciao, everybody. Talk to you real soon.